First of all, you're not a prince, so we're going to go ahead and get that out the way right the fuck now. All right? Asiel, Ben Israel, whatever you want to call yourself, you know who you are. Y'all know who I'm talking about. All right. Him being shunned from the Hebrew Israelite community was a smokescreen that took place when my father, Ben Carter, tried to awaken to expose what was taking place. As I mentioned to you all, he had a demonic underworld entity had taken possession over him. Now, with Asiel Ben Israel being shunned from the Hebrew Israelite community, it was the perfect plan. No one would have ever expected that Ben Carter is being held hostage. It was told that he shunned him from the Hebrew Israelite community. Ben Carter shunned Asiel Ben Israel from the Hebrew Israelite community, right? But it wasn't him. He was taken hostage. When he was taken hostage and monitored closely by his security team, Arthur Scott played a huge role, him along with many other members. We're going to get to the names at another time. But anyway, I know everyone. I know all of you. So anyway, he was taken hostage due to him trying to awaken, right? When that occurred, that's when they spoke about Asiel being shunned from the Hebrew Israelite community, right? 1, it was a smokescreen. 2, that's when his death was being plotted. No one would have ever expected no one would have ever expected Asiel Ben Israel to have been the one behind the plan. But he was. And it was an inside job. Because his head security team, Arthur Scott, my stepfather, he played a major role. In other of his security members. But anyway, I'm going to stop here because it gets deeper. I'm going to stop here. As I mentioned to you all, he was under possession. This is why he experienced what he experienced. I know that because I experienced it. I was binded to an entity, demonic entity, underworld entity that was attached to my grandmother. We were attached to these entities because we were paying karmic debt. So we sacrificed our souls to these entities. And this was our last life cycle. This is why and how I've been able to break free from that entity. And this is how he did not break free, but in his next life cycle, he's going to, live a better life. Let's say he's going to fulfill his life mission on this planet. That's it. All right. Oh, no. He's saying he's free. He paid his karmic debt. His role on this planet has been paid. It's over. This is why I'm telling this side of his story, because it never was told. So I'm telling this side of his story because it was never told, and this was his last life cycle. By him being connected to me and our stories being intertwined, and we, our journey is kind of simultaneous. But due to that, this is the reason why his story, his untold story, is being shared. So he fulfilled his life mission in this life cycle on this planet. He will not be back physically. Okay, all right. These messages coming through very clear. Okay. So we were both attached to underworld entities. I had to experience what I had to experience. This entire scenario occurred in our previous lifetime. In our previous lifetime, this is when I was tricked out of my birthright. This is how I know how everything happened. So in this life cycle, the same thing that happened in the beginning happened here. This is how I know what happened. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So I had to experience what I had to experience with me being possessed, because I was possessed. This is why I was diagnosed with bipolar, and I was experiencing so much mental conflict during my early years, my early adult years as well. I was not myself. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you all. And he was not himself. How they describe Ra is a complete different character than this person in this lifetime. Ben Carter. I don't know that person. I don't know that person. Ben Carter, I don't know that person. I saw a wicked entity. That's what I saw. A wicked, demonic, underworld entity. But my father, Ra, was pure. He's a god. Now he's in his God form. You know, his soul is set free. He's in his God form now. But I want you all to know that was not who he was. That was not who he was. He was possessed. So what I'm saying is that I had to experience what I experienced in order to understand what happened to him. I had to experience. It's like if I wouldn't have experienced that, I would not have understood him. I would have completely I would have brushed him off. And I would have continued to just be, cold, numb towards him, towards who he was. But after coming to that understanding, I deeper understood. He sacrificed. He did what he did. He sold his soul to that entity as a sacrifice. And I did the same. For our bloodlines in order to break this karmic toxic cycle. Not many people will understand that. In my conception, let me get you all clear on my conception. Let me get you all clear on my conception. I could not have been born any other way. Lilith Sekhmet had to be born in this lifetime. Lilith Sekhmet had to be born from a particular person. That person had to be his daughter. She, in previous life, before she reincarnated into this lifetime, she signed up for that. To be the portal of which I, the Divine Feminine, be born. She signed up for that. And she may not remember it. I'm sorry, that's messed up. You know what I'm saying? That's messed up. Seriously. Yeah, that's harsh. You know what I'm saying? That's harsh. But she signed on a spiritual level. We're coming from spiritual. We're talking about the spiritual immaturity. All right. So from a spiritual immature level, everything had to be done the way that it was. Period. I did not call the shots. My father did not call the shots. It was the divine spirit of life. Everything that happened within this lifetime is no mistake. You all had to see certain things. Certain things had to happen so that you all... It's like this entire scenario shift the awareness and the consciousness of humanity and society in general. It had to happen. This is the shift. This is why the veil must be lifted. So everything happened the way that it should. I have a better understanding. This is why I'm forgiven. I forgive him. Before I even knew that Ben Carter was my biological father, I began to talk to my biological. I began to develop a relationship with him prior to me. So I knew who he was. I know him in his godlike form. That's who I know. So I discovered that it was Ben Carter. It's like I was finally able to put the face to the person that I've been, not person, but to the soul that I've been communicating with, and it's been beautiful. It's been beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Met the man behind the curtain. Hello. But it's been beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And I just hope you all have a better understanding. But there's more. There's more. So the reason why he was teaching those teachings, which was false teachings, first of all, the Bible was rewritten. The Bible was never supposed to be a religion. It was just stories of great men and women that my father Ra wrote, the first 5 books, right? They rewritten the first 5 books and made it a religion. He taught that religion because he was being possessed. He allowed what he allowed because he was possessed. He did what he made, the choices he made because he was possessed. So I just hope you all have a better understanding. But it's more, it gets deeper. I'll stop here. I gotta go.